Okay, here goes nothing. So decided just to do this, record a video, no cuts, not going to edit anything, just going to do it all in one take. Kind of going to go over a bunch of geeky pop culture sort of news. Got some articles, read a couple quotes from other members of the Geekonauts, um, which is what we call ourselves, I guess. This is kind of like, I guess I would call this 2.0, and 1.0 was, maybe 10 years ago. We made like a Facebook page where we wanted to like share news on our Facebook feeds and stuff like that. But so I decided I want to do this with more people, obviously. I don't know how to do all this stuff yet. I'm learning. Right now, I'm using a laptop that's not very functional. I need to get a better laptop so I can get people into the same chat and we can have discussions and talk instead of me just reading what people think, which is not as entertaining, but might be just as informative. So I have quite a few things to go through, but not going to spend a lot of time on all of them. The first thing, why don't we just dive right into it? So this is the Geekonauts. We're a group of people. You might see other faces come on. Hopefully I'll have other people upload stuff. But I'm AJ. There's going to be, I'll name people as they come up, but there's a group of us. We're all friends from sort of the same area. A lot of us went to high school and stuff together, college, stuff like that. But yeah, we just love geeky stuff. We love sharing news and having discussions and talking. So we're like, why don't we start making videos? And it's always just been talking about it, but now I want to start doing it. As you can see, I'm kind of in a construction zone. Hopefully at some point this construction zone will be finished and there might be a space for, like a designated space for recording these sorts of things. Would be cool. But so the first thing, this is all going to be as of the recording date, which is September 3rd, 2024. So all this news happened either today, shortly before. It's a collection of like a week or so. Most of the stuff's going to be from today, though. So the biggest news I found today, comes out about Concord. Concord's a video game on PlayStation. Is a hero shooter, which kind of like Overwatch. These games where you have a designated hero that you play as with different abilities, and you work as a group of heroes to complete the objective. So this news comes right from the PlayStation blog from Ryan Ellis, who's the game director from Firewalk Studios, who made Concord. And he says, Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC, and want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game in our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning September 6th, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 or PC. If you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. And there's more information about if you bought it elsewhere. There's a promise here to keep us updated, and thank you again to all free gunners who have joined us in the Concord Galaxy. Obviously, this sucks. A lot of people worked really hard on this game, and a lot of the community was very passionate about it. A lot of the people that got to preview the game were really, really positive on it as well. People saying they really, really liked it. So I'm an avid watcher of Kind of Funny Games, and they were all very positive on it. Everybody they had on the show that talked about it, very positive on it. I saw obviously on Twitter, people were positive on it. So, but it always came with a caveat of I think this should be free to play, and it didn't come out as free to play. It was a premier game. It costs money, and consumers are consumers. And they did not jump on board. I think on launch day it had less than 700 players, I think. Um, so it sucks that it was kind of dead on arrival. That's not what you want. I wanted to bring up a quote here from Paris Lilly from Twitter. He's at Vicious696 on Twitter. And he says, hopefully Concord can be a lesson learned for the gaming industry. No one goes into a project wanting failure, but it is up to leadership to make the tough decisions and put these games in a place where they can be successful and protect the teams making them. It is easy for us to Monday morning quarterback the situation, but where was the voice in the planning meeting 18 months ago looking at the state of the industry and saying, maybe we need to rethink this? I mean, obviously, Paris is usually right about this stuff. Yeah, it's just like another game flops, another studio not meeting expectations that might have been unrealistic in the first place. Most of these hero type shooters are free to play. And I understand Concord was trying to set itself apart by having these huge cinematics and a great storyline. And honestly, when we first saw this game, I thought it was like a squad-based shooter with a single-player story running through it. I didn't know it was a hero shooter until the second or third trailer, to be honest. And at that point, it lost my interest. I know there were some people in our group that were excited for it, Terry being one of them. I was hoping they would, before it released, it would go free to play, but unfortunately, it did not. And now they're offering refunds and going to go try and figure out what to do with it next. I hope it finds success. I hope the audience finds happiness with it. So yeah, moving on from that story, the next thing I want to talk about is more of a happy note. I saw this on Facebook today. A guy I follow named Jake Holland. He's on Instagram, TikTok, all this stuff. He's really cool guy. Got a big old beard. Wears a hat. He's funny. Apparently, Taco Bell is releasing Mountain Dew Baja Blast Gelato. It's they come in little tiny cups, and he says it's really delicious. I don't know if it's everywhere, if it's just where he's at, or certain markets, but since it's more expensive than a Junior Frosty, but it tastes really good, which I thought it was kind of cool that they're making ice cream out of that. The next story, moving quickly, is about Ian McKellen, Gandalf. So apparently he was asked about appearing as Gandalf again. In an interview he did, let's see, he did this, I'm looking at BBC's website right now, but he did a separate interview with a website called Big Issue. And the story goes like this. Discussing the possibility of appearing in the new film, Sir Ian commented, "I'm not letting anyone else put on the pointy hat and beard if I can help it." I remember he played Gandalf in all 3 Lord of the Rings movies and then all 3 Hobbit movies. They are making a new batch of Lord of the Rings films about Gollum. Andy Serkis is directing, and he's going to star as Gollum. Sir Ian said, "Enthusiasm for the Lord of the Rings shows no sign of abating. I can't tell you any more than that. I've just been told there are going to be more films and Gandalf will be involved, and they hope that I'll be playing him. When? I don't know. What the script is? It's not written yet, so they better be quick." And he's not wrong. He's obviously getting up there. I believe he is 85, and in June he fell off stage and hurt himself and took the rest of the summer off. He said it had nothing to do with his age. I hope he's right. He always seems quick regardless of his age. I do have a quote from one of our Geekonauts, Ryan. He says Ian McKellen being asked to play Gandalf is fine, I guess. I love him in that role, but he is aging out of it, in my opinion. I would rather someone who has some longevity don the hat. Eventually, we will need to pass the torch. And I agree with that sentiment. I love Ian McKellen. He's just great. Gandalf he plays it so perfectly. Um, but he is getting up there. And I want his body of work that he did with Gandalf to speak for itself and stay there, and that be his legacy. It's really hard to move on to another actor to interpret the same character that we've seen our entire lives. Um, I I hope he can maybe be a part of it in some fashion, but I don't know if casting him as Gandalf in 3 more films or 5 more films or 1 more film, whatever it may be. And God, I hope they don't kill off Gandalf's character. That'd be ridiculous. Um, Full disclosure, I don't know if they do. I don't know. I have not read every piece of Tolkien that's out there, but um, a long story short, I love Ian McKellen. I love Gandalf. Love Lord of the Rings. I love the combination of all those things. But I do think it might be time for someone else to put on the pointy hat. Our next story is about the Nike Pegasus 41 running shoes. This is just something I thought was cool. They do this every year, but if you have a favorite sports team, they probably have, and they're brought to you by Nike. Their jerseys are Nike or whatever. All the NFL teams have these shoes. There's one for every team in the NFL. There's select ones for colleges. I'm looking at the University of Michigan shoes. They are $150. You can get them at Fanatics, Nike, Dick's Sporting Goods, whatever. I just think they look cool. And I don't know. Just wanted to throw it in there. Let's see. Next story. Let's stay in sports. Let's talk about Joey Chestnut. So yesterday, which would have been Labor Day, was yesterday Labor Day? It sure was. Joey Chestnut was on Netflix, live broadcast Netflix, eating hot dogs because Nathan's kicked him out or whatever from their 4th of July thing. So this was put on by Netflix, and he got to go up against Kobayashi, which was his longtime rival. This comes from Yahoo Sports. Who wrote this? This is from Yahoo Sports staff. So everybody contributed, it looks like. In an epic matchup against rival Takiro Kobayashi, Chestnut has again proven his hot dog eating supremacy. The 16-time Nathan's hot dog eating champ outate his rival on Monday, chowing down 83 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes to beat his own world record and defeat Kobayashi once and for all. Kobayashi put up a valiant effort, setting a new personal record, but his 66 hot dogs could not hold up to Chestnut. Whew, that's crazy. I haven't done any research on what he does after. Like, does he purge all this, or does he keep it down and he's got to go for a walk or a nap or something, right? That is ridiculous. Nobody in the geek group, the Geekonauts thing, wanted to comment about this. Oddly enough. So we'll move on. Moving on to Agatha All Along. There's a little tidbit of news I wanted to go over. So this show premieres on September 18th, 2 episodes to start off. This is the spinoff from WandaVision, starring Catherine Hahn as Agatha. It also stars Joe Locke, Deborah Jo Rupp, and Aubrey Plaza. Just to name a few of the characters in there. It looks like it's going to be kind of like a horror thing. It leads up into Halloween. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of horror tropes in there, which I think is pretty cool, especially for a Disney Plus series. So the interesting thing I wanted to talk about was there was a report that at Jamie Cinematics on Phase Zero CB did on Twitter. I found this tweet on New Rock Stars. That's another YouTube channel that I frequent. Reportedly, Agatha All Along's third episode will name drop a certain character who was highly expected to appear in WandaVision, but did not. And New Rockstars, of course, Eric Voss, famously kept predicting Mephisto to show up in WandaVision and all these other shows, and he never did. And currently, the only thing Mephisto's confirmed for is actually Armor Wars, which you wouldn't think he'd be in Armor Wars. I just thought it was interesting. I wonder who they might be talking about, because, it's funny in these interviews, a lot of times the directors and writers, they have a different interpretation of what their words mean, obviously. So a certain character who was highly expected to appear in WandaVision in their bubble might have been somebody completely different than what we were thinking about in our bubble. So we might have been thinking about Mephisto. They could have been thinking about, I don't know, a real Quicksilver maybe, which would be cool too. I doubt that. I don't think it'd fit for Agatha All Along, being the story about the Witch's Road and a coven of witches. But you never know. Yeah, I am excited for that show, though. I'm always excited for Disney Plus shows. The only one that's really, really let me down so far is Secret Invasion. But we don't like to talk about that. The next story I have is... in the same Marvel vein, I also saw that the Nova show is still in development, along with several other projects. There's also more like these one-shot featured premieres, like the werewolf one, and the holiday special for the Guardians. They're going to be doing more of those, which I really like those, so I think that's cool. But they are going to be doing a Nova show. Here's some notes about it. It is inspired by Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica. There's a cosmic focus. It's an ensemble piece. Embraces heated elements of the comics. So that could be really interesting. I don't know a lot about Nova other than he looks cool. And there's multiple people that have donned the Nova moniker. I think one was like a teenager-ish, youngish guy that was kind of a dick. But I look forward to that. I think Nova would be a cool character. I'm very interested to learn more about Nova. I know there are a couple of people in the Geekonauts that do know quite a bit about Nova and really enjoy him as a character, and they are excited about this. Moving on to the next Marvel bit of news. It's actually not about the movies or TV shows. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics is coming to Xbox. So when they announced this initially, they only said PlayStation, Switch, and PC, and there was no mention of Xbox. This comes from Ryan Dinsdale at IGN. The Marvel vs. Capcom Twitter account confirmed the game would be coming to Xbox One and will therefore be backwards compatible via the Xbox Series consoles, just like it was announced for PlayStation 4 and not PlayStation 5. So it is coming to all those consoles. You'll be able to play it. But this comes with a foil. Xbox fans will have to wait longer, as while other platforms are getting the collection, which brings 7 fan-favorite fighting games together on modern consoles, on September 12th, next week, 9 days, whatever, the Xbox version has the vague release window of 2025. I'm going to go ahead and quote somebody in the Geekonauts group because they initially were upset because, it's another Xbox thing, like another developer passing up on Xbox because of nothing other than small player base, which, Xbox is not doing well. And then when I told him, well, actually the news is that it's coming to Xbox, his quote was, this is from Sam, said, no shit. So, it just, being an Xbox fan right now is tough. We have it rough. We have some good games. Game Pass is cool, but man, there's the quality that we need more. Give us some food. Come on, be real. Let's see. So moving on from that, we go to the official Cyberpunk 2077 board game. This comes from Zachary Body at Windows Central. Let's see here. CD Projekt Red and its partner Go On Board have been teasing Cyberpunk 2077, the board game, for months, and now you can finally reserve your own copy. The board game's crowdfunding campaign started today, and in just 10 minutes hit 100% of its funding goals. 6 hours later, the campaign is well over 1,000% funding, with every single stretch goal reached, which is crazy. The last time I remember something like that happening was when Critical Role was doing their Kickstarter for their first animated series, and now that's turned into 3 seasons of Legend of Vox Machina and another Mighty Nine series coming. It's like, so this board game, I'm not a board game guy, sorry, but my brother is. His name is Ryan, and he said this about the Cyberpunk 2077 board game. It's expected to be a solid board game, and everything showcased at Gen Con was promising for the longevity of their game. It's an action-based game with some slight RPG elements that provide some refreshing playthroughs. That's cool. I did see the price point was like $79, which is steep for a board game, I think, who's used to going to like Target or Walmart and getting for $15-20. But apparently this allows for some like long plays and ongoing narratives and stuff. So yeah, that's really cool. Excited to see board games. The board game community is, I think, at its probably peak that it's been in the last 10 years. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people in the Geekonauts group that are pretty excited about board games and go to Gen Con and stuff like that. The next story I wanted to go over was, this Black Ops 6 beta Omni movement stuff. I'm looking at a clip here. I wish I could show it. I don't have the technology, but there's this guy in Black Ops 6 that's just bouncing all over the place. I don't know how it's insane. Bouncing. If you want to look at it, go to August 30th tweet from @XPEIRR. I found it on the Andy Cortez's at the Andy Cortez, his Twitter. He retweeted it, but it's from @XPEIRR. Dude, it's just bouncing all over the place. So I did ask our group if anybody had played the Black Ops 6 beta. I know someone that had played. They said he does not like the Omni movement at all. But this friend of ours named Todd, he said, Omni movement will likely be a bit of a learning curve for a casual like myself, but will open up some interesting opportunities. Additionally, I do think Body Shield is the best addition to a COD game in a long time. I am most excited, however, for the return of round-based zombies. Yeah, so I watched some stuff. There was a big thing with a bunch of content creators before this beta dropped, and they were all saying the same thing about zombies. It's back. Like, they're super excited for it, all these content creators. And I saw some weird videos with the Body Shield, people acting like they're P. Diddy. That's weird. But yeah, so that's Black Ops 6. Everybody's excited for it. The next bit of news was the Sonic 3 trailer dropped. I'm personally very excited for it. At the time of recording, the Sonic 3 official trailer has 7.9 million views. It dropped a week ago. Comes to theaters December 20th. Personally, my story with Sonic starts when I was really young. My brother and I playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on Sega Genesis. Just so many memories. We played so often. I always beat him, obviously, in those races that they do with the split screen. You're racing through the level. I was always Sonic. He was always Tails. And we actually have shirts now that say, I'll be Sonic, you be Tails, from a song from A Day to Remember, one of our favorite bands. So, and we're actually going to be getting tattoos of Sonic and Tails. So our love for Sonic runs pretty deep. Thanks to our dad. I still have I got a Sonic plushie when I was maybe 5 or 6, I want to say. Still have it. It's next to my bed. I don't sleep with it, all right? It's next to my bed. But I do have a couple quotes here from our friends in the Geekonauts. I'll start with Ruben first because he has not been heard from yet. Um, he said, we may be getting into the territory of there being too many characters. So that's in reference to there being Shadow in the movie now. Shadow is a character from the games, kind of like a dark Sonic, if you want to put it that way. That's how my kids see him, honestly. When he was teased at the end of the last Sonic, um, it was funny. My kid actually knew who it was right away, and I was like, "How did you know that?" So there's lots of media with Sonic in it outside the games. He's in the cartoons. Um, and Ryan had this to say: Sonic 3 looks amazing. Tails getting bodied by Shadow for like the 235th time in media will never not be funny. I love Tails, but still hilarious. He cannot seem to get him. If anyone wants to get more Shadow in their life, then Sonic X the series is a good place to binge. I actually have never watched Sonic X. I used to watch all the very, very old ones, which had Urkel as the voice of Sonic. Um, and it had Robotnik and those little weird looking dudes. Oh, I can't even remember that. But long time ago, I used to watch that stuff. Um, and now they just came out with a new series, Sonic Dimensions, on Netflix, I think. And that was pretty cool. I like that. But yeah, Sonic is huge in my life, huge in my family's life. My kids love Sonic and Tails. But I think Ruben may have a point here, although he never said this crap about the Avengers. He never said, "Oh, we might be getting too many characters in that Avengers movie." He never said that. He also can't defend himself because he's not in this video. So, but if he's an outside, I don't think he's like a Sonic super fan. I'm not a Sonic super fan. I just like Sonic a lot. I think if some people feel that way, then maybe it is time to scale back a bit. I know a lot of people are expecting Amy and Rouge and Big the Cat and Silver. It's like there's so many Sonic characters, so many Sonic characters. They can't all be in the movies though. They can't. I mean, you got to have the way they're doing it now. I think is right. I don't think continuing to like pile on characters and making this gigantic Sonic universe in our real universe makes a lot of sense. Because obviously a lot of the comics and video games don't take place like on Earth. It takes place on the planet Mobius, right? I know some of the games do, especially Shadow, where Shadow's from, so with the Ark and all that. But I don't think you need to combine all those worlds. I think there's a place for those, like Sonic Dimensions is a great place for stories like that. And the movies can kind of keep it simple and mainline and not have to worry about all the predisposed canon and stuff that goes along with like Amy and Rouge and all that stuff. So I am excited for Shadow, voiced by Keanu Reeves. Definitely just playing him like he does everything else pretty much, and people love it. There was that rumor that Hayden Christensen was going to be Shadow. I thought that would have been cool too. But really, I am excited for it. December 20th. We usually go out as a family on Christmas for a movie, and that'll probably be our movie this year. Go to see Sonic. Maybe I'll have a Sonic tattoo by then. But so yeah, that's all the news really that I could find here. Let me open up a Google screen and type in news and see if there's anything else that's dropped that might be interesting to geek culture. Not much. Looks like Dragon Con was last weekend. People had fun. There's a lot of cosplay from that. I know my sister-in-law, man, I'm never sure how to say that. My sister-in-law was showing me a bunch of cosplay from Dragon Con. Looks crazy. People with cosplay, I admire you for your commitment and just the tenacity to make it look as accurate as possible, and then to act like the character as well. It's a whole nother level. Shows a lot of passion and commitment. I appreciate that very much. As someone who dressed up as Batman for like 6 years in a row for Halloween, I don't got a lot of creativity when it comes to cosplay. Um, yeah, so that's all the news. This video is about 30 minutes long. Hopefully, as this continues, I'll be able to get a better laptop. I'll be able to have more people in here for a discussion so I can ask Ruben what the hell he's talking about. I mean, I should ask him that every day, to be honest. But yeah, as the time goes on, I think this channel will evolve. I'm passionate about it. I want to do it. I want to have a legacy. I think it'd be cool for this to exist on the internet forever. And when I'm gone, it's still here. And my kids and their kids can be like, what? Let's watch grandpa's old video. Why would anybody do that? I don't know if my grandpa ever had a YouTube. I don't know if I'd be like, let's go watch grandpa's old videos. I don't know. I'm not doing this for money. I just want a place to talk about, to get my geek flow out, all the geeky stuff. I just want to talk about it and give my opinion and have my friends on here and talk to them and put it out there and hear from people that, you know, they don't want to do this. So I won't see their opinion about this stuff on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, but they might put it in the comments of this video. And if I do see a comment on any of these videos that I would want to address or anything, I'll obviously pull it up and could stay anonymous if you want to, but I'm always interested in the discussion about stuff like this because it's all opinion. Everybody's got opinions, and art is always subjective, right? Or subjective. So it's all up to us how we interpret it. So Ruben might not like the Sonic 3 movie. I might think it's the greatest movie ever made. That's just how it is. But that's what's great about media like this, and not just like geek media, but all media, all art. It's all up to the person how they interpret it and how it makes them feel. So yeah, there's no opinion that's invalid. But thank you if you watched this long. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe to this channel, all that good stuff that you hear all your kids YouTubers say. I do want to continue this. I want to keep it going. I want to get my friends on here. I want everybody's opinion. I want to have a good discussion and host and, you know, maybe hopefully turn my passion into more, which would be great. I'd love that. But thank you for watching. If you did, I appreciate you. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. Share it. Show it to your grandma. I don't know. Just help me out. And hopefully other people join me next time and we go from there. Thank you.